Hi guys, well in this video I'm going to explain to you how I made my first 100,000 3.5 years into my project to make £1 million. Charlie Munger, who is Warren Buffett's partner, billionaire partner, famously said that the first 100,000 is a bitch. And what he meant with that is that the first 100,000 you have to physically graft for. It's, as I've said in a previous video, the sucker that you have to get through in order to become wealthy. So I've hit a first milestone, which is 100,000. So I thought I'd spend a few minutes just explaining how it is I get there and how that 100,000 is made up. So what we have here, if you can see, the bulk of it is in equity in the 3 properties I bought, still on minimum wage, over the last 3.5 years. And that equity is made up of the deposits I've had to put in a buy-to-let mortgage. You have to put in a 25% deposit. So there's 25% I put in physically in cash. And then we bought all 3 of them slightly undervalued, about £10,000 of equity into them, built into the deal. And plus the rise in the value of the properties since that time. So most of it sits in property right now. I do have some cash lying around. I have in my Vanguard ISA £5,230, which I use as an emergency fund, and thankfully I haven't yet had to dip into that. And the Marquee business has cash in the bank. Half is my business partner's, but this half is mine, of £5,600. Add them all together and we get slightly over £100,000, £102,580. Well, now, how does all that translate into income, and where do we go from here? Well, I'm going to talk about investable income. This is not total income. This is income after I've paid all my bills, and this is what's left for me to invest going forward. So from a taxi company, which makes up the bulk of it right now, although I think in future the rents will. But the taxi company now, I can manage to save £1,300 a month. The rents from the 3 properties I bought come to £1,200, and we've decided, my business partner Wayne and I, that going ahead we'll take £1,000 each over the next year. Although we hopefully make a lot more than that, we've just said we'll take out £1,000 to start with. So add them up and we have £3,500 of investable income. Now the beauty with this number is that £3,500 a month allows me to buy 2 more properties next year going forward. So we're going to see over that time, over that period, another rise in my net worth because of the equity that will be in the new properties, and also income moving forward. And so moving forward, where do we go from here? Well, I'd like to quote a guy called Brian Tracy. Brian, I say Brian as if you know the guy, he's never met me. Mr. Tracy, shall we call him, or Brian Tracy. Brian is a now elderly American motivational speaker, but he said something very famous about money. And he said, making your first million is hard. However, the second million is inevitable. And what he means by that is because once you've hit £1 million, or you've hit whatever number it is, a substantial number, because of the compounding effect of the investments you've made, it becomes much easier. In fact, it becomes almost unstoppable to make more money. So whilst it's taken me, nearly 3.5 years to make 102,580, I predict going forward, because of the extra properties I'm going to buy using this investable income, and a combination of the investments I've already made in the properties I bought over the last 3 years, those 2 rising, I think next year I expect to make somewhere between £70,000 and £90,000. And that's just an example of what Brian says. It's been a real suck to get 102, but next year I will make between £70,000 and £90,000 in 1 year. Will that all come to pass? Who knows? COVID is still here. Anything can happen. But to be sure, I'll let you know how it goes. And if you want to follow me, of course, you need to keep up with these videos. Thanks for watching. If you want to smash that like button, I would appreciate it. It really, really does help the algorithm. And I'll see you again, guys. Don't be stupid and don't be normal.